Welcome to Scout Boats. My name is Steve Potts, President and Founder. Today I'd like to take you on a tour of our factory to show you what truly makes Scout an innovator and a leader in today's industry. There are two methodologies to building a fiberglass boat. One is to chop a boat, which is to use a gun, and you have an individual that sprays the fiberglass in a mold, and he determines what that thickness needs to be. And the other is a hand-laid boat. There's a number of companies that chop their boats, but they may hand-lay 1 or 2 layers in it, and so they call themselves a hand-laid product. Scouts are 100% hand-laid. Every part that we produce, the hull, the decks, the boxes, consoles, there is not a part in a Scout boat that's not 100% hand-laid. The materials that we use are cut by a pattern and that are engineered and predetermined as the thickness and the layers that we put on and the overlaps in the critical areas that need to be overlapped. What this means to a consumer is that our strength to weight ratio is superior to any other brand that's in the market today, and the boats that we produce are consistent from boat to boat. The variation from a particular model boat, whether it's the first one we built or the 100th one we built, is exactly the same, because we've taken that human element out of the building of that fiberglass part, which should be very important to a consumer today. You don't want to buy that boat that on a particular day that person didn't quite have his head screwed on right in building that boat the way it should have been built.
This is our CNC operation here at Scout Boats. We cut all of our foam patterns for all of the layup processes within the company here in the CNC operation. We use a polyurethane foam and PVC foams depending on the application. This is one of the patterns that we've cut off of the CNC router, and as you can see here, it's got strategic cutouts for reinforcements. These are, for example, for hinges for lids and also for a bow cleat here in the front. We have over 300 different patterns that cut all of the foam for all of our small parts here at Scout. Some of the reasons for using polyurethane or a PVC foam is it's much lighter than marine grade plywood, and that helps produce a lighter, stronger boat in the long run.
This is our clamp up department at Scout Boats. One of the things they do back here is they foam the boats while they're still in the mold. We shoot in 20% more foam than what the Coast Guard regulates, making every one of our boats an unsinkable boat, so you and your family can go safely boating on the water.
Real quickly, just want to go over some of the advantages of the Scout wiring and the electrical systems on all of our boats. We currently use all-tin wiring on all of our main distribution harnesses, switch panels, all of the AC side and DC side of our wiring of all of our boats. We also have some advantages with our safety features that are built into our electrical systems, and basically what those safety advantages are is we have some different relays that allow you to run a lot of different systems on your boats but not run down the engine batteries. So that's one advantage to our safety system. We also use all Deutsch plugs on all of our wiring, and it's all basically plug-and-play systems. And by having these different plug-and-play systems, it allows us to have accuracy within our manufacturing process and also out in the field whenever something needs to be maintained or repaired. Looking at some of the wiring on our larger boat, you can see that on the back side of this AC/DC panel, we basically have aircraft quality wiring. Coming back to the front of our panel here, we have different readings that will show you your port battery, house battery, starboard battery banks, and also your AC voltage for your battery chargers and a lot of the AC side of the systems of this boat. One of the safety features that I'd like to discuss with you today is some of the systems that we test. One of them being our fuel system. We do a fuel pressure tester on every boat that we build here at Scout. Basically, this system applies a certain amount of pressure to the fuel tank and to the fuel system itself, and then you can test for leaks from that point. After the fuel pressure test is completed, we document that on the quality control document that gets filed here for every boat, and then we also apply a sticker to the fuel cap that goes out so the dealer and the customer knows that each fuel system was pressure tested.
One of the things I want to show you today is our test tank. We take all of our boats from plant B, which is 24 foot and up, and drop every single one of them into the test tank. We also have showers that rain down from above that test the cabin boats for leaks in the different hatches and that sort of thing. We also drop in hand-picked boats from plant A, which is 24 foot and down, to check for any leaks in their systems as well. This is part of our QC process, so you'll see that we have people in here working to check for any last-minute blemishes or mistakes that might have been made during the assembly process. This is something that we do to ensure a near-perfect boat with every boat that we build.
It may not seem as though the color of a white or the shade of a white is important. When I started Scout a number of years ago, one of the things I wanted to do is to create a color that was pleasing on your eyes. Aesthetically, it's a good look. It identifies this product as being Scout. This is a color that is identifiable with being only on Scouts. It also is a color that is for a purpose. And that purpose is that when you're spending the day out on the water in the bright sunshine, that the glare is minimized. Many of our competitors may use a real bright appliance white, which may look okay in a showroom or inside a building for a boat show. But the fact is that the color that we use is the best color for spending the day out as far as your eyes are concerned. One of the things that we're most proud of here at Scout is the fact that when you're on the water with one of our products, you can identify it as being a Scout even before you see the name on the side. We pay a lot of attention to styling and what consumers expect today and the uniqueness of the brand that they're buying. As an example of that, most of our boats will have a broken shear. If you look, the shear of the boat, which is where the rub rail is identifiable as being a Scout. We've gone in the direction of sort of a retro look with some sex appeal, I guess you could describe it as that. Not unlike what the automotive industry is doing. The trends in the automotive industry, whether we like it or not, they're the trends that basically most consumers can relate to. So there's a number of things that we try to do, which is creating newer looks as we evolve and as the company ages. We're continuously reinventing ourselves, but we never get away from those particular lines that's in our product that make it a Scout. Whether it's the shear of the boat, and if you look at the style lines on the side of our hulls, they're all indicative of what makes a Scout a Scout. And one other example of that is our T-top design. The enclosed T-top using tempered glass panels versus all the support bars that were done in generations of the past is a patented design that Scout originated back in 2007. This is a process through a lot of experimentation, through a lot of research in developing the right types of glass, the right thickness of glass, and the right shapes. But as you can see, this is the modern day look that people tend to want to gravitate toward. While there's been a number of companies and a number of brands out there that try to mimic what we do, we're the originators of a lot of trend-setting ideas that you'll see in the water today. Another thing that we do that's unique to our brand is we pay a lot of attention to the upholstery. Even pickup trucks today have plush interiors. These are coastal fishing boats, but people and consumers expect to have that level of quality in the seats that they sit in, even right down to the colors that are used. We have pioneered a new direction for coastal fishing boats, which is to blend some different colors together and sculpture each of our cushions so that they're not only more comfortable to sit in, but they're much more stylish than what's been created in our marketplace, especially in the coastal fishing boat market, for several decades. So we feel like that Scout is the trendsetter in the marketplace today when it comes to coastal fishing boats. Okay, here we are in Plant B's inspection tunnel, or what we like to call our light tunnel. Every boat, every model in Plant B goes through in a final inspection in this tunnel, which is a tunnel that's, as you can see, is flooded with lights so that we don't miss any detail. We inspect every boat for fit and finish and check all the mechanisms, like on the side door that we have on our 345 model, to be sure that everything works properly and the fit and finish is up to our standards. But what I really want to talk about now is our running surface designs. We have 3 designs that are unique to Scout boats. The first one, which is what we use in our smaller craft from 15 foot up to 19 foot, is our air assist design. Our air assist design is a design that we started the company with 20 years ago, and it's very, very unique to our brand in that it creates a very stable boat. It's very fuel efficient. It gets on a plane very early, and it does all this with less horsepower. And less horsepower obviously means less fuel burn. So it's a very, very fuel efficient, very good all-around design for that size boat. As you get larger in sizes, you can't use the same type of running surface. It isn't a one-size-fits-all. Most of our competitors have a particular design, and it doesn't change much from their smaller to larger craft. And what they're doing is they're compromising on one end or the other end. For us, we design our running surfaces based on the mission of that particular size boat and the way that people will use it. The second design I'd like to describe to you is the new V3 design. The new V3 is a multi-dead rise running surface, which again is proprietary to Scout boats. We developed it. We spent a lot of time on the water. We've experimented with a lot of different lifting strokes and angles. Timeless amount of effort has been put into that design. It is truly one of the most fuel efficient running surfaces on the water today. It is extremely fast with less horsepower. And while speed may not be the highest level of importance to you, speed, when you break down the cruising RPMs and cruising speeds, makes for a more fuel efficient boat. The third design that we also use is our step tail technology. The step tails are used in our larger craft. As an example, the 345 that I'm standing in front of you right now is a step tail design. As you can see, it has a notch right here, and this is the beginning of the forward step. This is a technology that makes for a very fast boat. This boat is one of the fastest in its market segment, and it also does it with twin engines versus triples, which most of our competition needs to perform with this model boat.
Today I want to go over some of the creature comforts that we incorporate into our models. Starting with this boat in the very back, I've got a folding stern seat wave gate. Makes it very easy to get back to the swim platforms. I've also got a stern seat that folds up and locks into place. You'll also notice the vinyls that we use. They're very high quality. They resist staining, they resist UV sun rays. We have a tilt helm. We also have a cell phone charger, all resettable breakers with LED indicators. We have a MP3 plug for your iPod. We incorporate a head into this model. And again, we do this to try to make the family happy, something that's not just a hardcore fishing boat, but incorporates the whole family into the boating experience, makes it nice for everybody to enjoy. As you move forward, there's a nice bow lounge area with armrests. This is large enough for 2 people to ride comfortably. Moving into the very forward part of the bow, we've got a fold-out picnic table with a cooler underneath. We also have other safety incorporations involved, like this recessed handrail, and a lot of other things that we think about that go into these models that help make it a family-friendly boat.
Let's talk a few minutes why a Scout boat should be the fish boat of your choice. Notice at the helm, all of our boats have tilt steering. We also have an area on all of our helms to flush mount electronics, which is very clean and a neat way to do it. All Scout boats have a lighted, aerated, recirculating live well. In this particular model, we have a deluxe fiberglass leaning post live well that enables you to have a live well under your seat and also incorporate your helm seating along with 2 flush mount rod holders facing aft. In this particular model, underneath the port and starboard rear section of the boat, we have additional storage. Everyone here at Scout are fishermen, so we work in the details that we know that you will like and enjoy on your boat. Notice the pull-up cleats. In a bay style boat like we have here, it enables you to cast freely without having the risk of catching your fishing line around your cleat. Again, we have flush mount stainless steel rod holders throughout. This particular boat, you'll see we have 4 mounted on the stern of the boat. If you fish like me, you'll certainly appreciate the number of rod holders that we put on all of our boats. In this particular model, we have storage for 12 rods. Going forward, some of you may like additional bait well or live well capacity. On this model, we have a large bait well underneath the forward seat. As you're going across the rough bays and lakes, look, you can sit down, face forward, and be very comfortable when you're riding in a rough chop. As we move forward to the front deck, notice that we have additional storage under the front deck, as we do in all Scout boats. Another thing I'd like to point out is the fit and finish. All Scout boats are finished on the inside just like they are on the outside. When you step on the front deck of a Scout boat, you'll notice that there's no creaks, there's no rattles. There's a toe kick to keep you safe. On all of our bay boats, we have a 24-volt trolling motor plug. All Scout boats have a place to store your anchor, rod, and chain. Again, let me touch on fit and finish. I don't think there's a boat on the market that has a fit and finish as a Scout boats. Look in any compartment, look in the bilge, look in the live wells. The gel coat you see on the outside is the same gel coat that you see on the inside. There's no places to stub your toe. There's not a place to trip. There's flush mount rod holders, there's pull-up cleats, there's cup holders. You get everything you need in a Scout boat. I like to refer to this boat as a gentleman's fish boat.
One of the things I want to show you today is what is a very unique thing about Scout boats that really sets us apart from the competition. You'll notice that we have our president and CEO of Scout Boats who actually paints the boot stripe on every one of these large boats. It's sort of his way of putting his signature on a nice painting as an artist or a boat builder. But this is just one of the other things that's a little bit different.
Okay, we're now standing in our R&D facility, which is an 11,000 square foot climate controlled area of Scout Boats factory. That is where all the designs are created. I'm standing with Stevie Potts, which is actually my son. I'm number 1, he's number 2, so this is Stevie Potts the second. And I'm very proud of the fact that we're able to work together, and I'm able to work together with my son. When I started Scout 21 years ago, it was my dream to create a company that can outlive me and that can go on for generations, which is something that I think lacks in the world today. And I'm extremely proud of the fact that Stevie has as much or more passion than I have about boat building. I started the company in a garage 21 years ago, and today we're one of the top sought after brands in our marketplace today. And I believe that's because of the blend of new and old. Stevie's sort of a new generation person. His styling and his ideas are quite a bit more liberal than I am, or mine are, and I'm kind of more conservative from the baby boomer generation. But I do believe that what we do together is to create the best design that's on the marketplace today. I would never be so foolish as to believe that I need to listen to him and his ideas, but I never want him to think that, or be so foolish as to think that he knows more than designing boats than I do. I think that he does, and he'll probably tell most people that he does, but at the end of the day, I don't think that that's something that I'd want to portray, but you know, he may have a different opinion there. I don't want to say that we don't get in fist fights. We don't get physically, you know, mad at each other, but we have some heated debates about his ideas versus my ideas. And I'll have to say that in a lot of cases, I will admit here today, in a lot of cases, he's been right and I've been wrong. But you won't hear me say that again. Again, I'm extremely proud of Stevie. Some of the designs that we have today, which are some of the best in the world, is his ideas and came from his creativity. And I think that that's what makes Scout unique. There's not many other companies that have a succession plan or a plan that's past a generation or blends two generations together. There's just not many companies and products that are manufactured anywhere in the world that has that combination that truly makes us unique to what we're doing. Stevie, has I got that right? Or?
Yeah, you got that pretty much right. You know, there's pretty much not a day that goes by where you know my father doesn't come back here and we get in arguments. It's not, I wouldn't say it's as bad as Orange County or something like that, but you know, I like you know, more modern, racier lines, and like my dad said, he's more conservative. So I think that, you know, what we combine together is a pretty good blend. But honestly, there's probably not a day that goes by where we just really don't get into a pretty decent argument about what I think looks good and what he thinks looks good. But at the same time, you know, my father started something in his garage from nothing to this, and so it makes it really hard to, you know, argue with somebody about what I think looks good when he started something like this from nothing. So I try to listen as much as I can, but at the same time, if you listen to me more, I think that we would probably have a lot more models like the 345 selling. So, you know, that's basically my 2 cents on that. So.
Well, you know, the joke back here is that Stevie will work on something for weeks or a month, and I'll come back and he'll ask my opinion of something, and I'll shake my head, you know, and I'll tell him to change one little thing that probably doesn't really matter, but it's my little piece of having my interjection and what he ends up doing. And when I walk out, he kind of scratches his head. Now, what difference did that make? You know, so yeah, there's a lot of that goes on, but I am still very intimately involved, and I want to continue. This is my passion. This is what got me into business. I'm a boat builder. I've been a boat builder all my life, and my son is a boat builder. And I think that what makes this company unique is not only what we do and what consumers see, but also the respect that we have amongst all of our employees. We work back here, we roll up our sleeves, we do everything and anything that any one of our employees, or we ask our employees to do. There's not many owners and co-owners that can say that in the marketplace today. And I think that what separates us from everybody else is the fact that in addition to us, in addition to the team that's back here in R&D, every employee that has his hands on building our product have a great deal of pride and a great deal of passion about what we do because of what we demonstrate as a team together.
Basically what we do back here in R&D is everything basically starts an idea in our head, and basically we design and build it back here, and we put it out on the plant floor. A lot of times, my father and I will have some creative ideas in our head, and we'll basically go home, we'll sketch it out when it comes fresh to us. It could either be on paper and even on a napkin. We'll take that idea and we'll bring it up to our engineering office, and they'll basically take that and obviously design it in a computer to where we can actually look at it and tweak those drawings and get it exactly where we want. And then once we get that, we'll actually design and build it back here in R&D. And then we'll even go a step further forward than most companies do, is we don't actually CNC cut it back here. We'll take that design from the computer, we'll build it, and we'll actually stand inside the boat. And sometimes things look really good on paper or even on a napkin or however we do it. But once you stand in there, you want to move things over a little bit. Maybe something felt a little bit tighter than it would if you saw it on a computer. So that's one thing that makes us different from everybody else, is we can actually mock it up in a boat, walk through it, move things around to where it feels very good to us. And then once we get that final product, then we'll actually build a mold off of it and get it ready for production. One thing that we do different back here in R&D is when we go to shows, we look at everything from aluminum boats up to $10 million yachts. We'll take ideas from a wide range of different boats, and even not even boats. And we'll even go to the I go to automotive shows in Vegas, and I look at what the new trend in the car industry is, and I'll even take some of those ideas and put it into our boats. Even in the housing industry, we'll go into these new modern houses with new granite countertops and even the new hardwood floors, the tiling and things like that. We look at a wide range of things to try to put into our boat to keep our boat different from everybody else and keep our brand exciting. And sometimes that's good, and sometimes we fail in certain things, but we feel like we're a leader, and we definitely think outside the box, and I think that's what makes us different from most of the other boat brands that we compete against.
I want to take a second to talk about one of our partners, Yamaha Motor Corporation. Yamaha motors are probably the most sought after outboard motor in the industry today. They own about 80% of the saltwater market. I can tell you that in my 13 years of working at Scout Boats, we have an annual dealer meeting where we put about 15 boats in the water. Every single year, every single one of those engines on the back of those boats have cranked up and run like a top. Their support system at the factory is incredible. Everyone we work with there is very easy to work with. They stand behind their product. They build one of the best looking, fastest running, lowest emission and lightest engines on the market today, and they do it all at a great price. Can't say enough about these guys. One of the most important attributes about a boat is safety. At Scout Boats, every single one of our boats are 100% unsinkable. We also bond our boats as one piece, so it's one solid unit. In case anything were to happen on the water, the boat's going to stay together. We're ABYC certified, we're NMA certified, we're CE certified, and we're also Coast Guard certified. Not only do we focus on safety whenever it comes to building these boats, but in our factory as well. You can see we're up to 1,268 days without a single accident within the facility. One of the things that makes Scout Boats very special is the investment that you're buying with our product. There's a lot of companies out there that like to talk about how inexpensive they are or how the cost of their product isn't that much. What you get with a Scout is the best materials possible. We build a boat that ages gracefully so that you get the top dollar whenever it's time to trade up or to buy the next size boat that you're looking for. We also have one of the best warranties in the industry with a 3-year stem to stern warranty and a 10-year structural hull warranty. The 3-year stem to stern warranty covers everything on the boat for 3 years, parts and labor for the first year and parts for years 2 and 3. Another thing that you get is fuel economy, or the cost of ownership. Yeah, you might spend a little bit more on the Scout, but the overall cost of ownership, whenever you consider how much you're spending in fuel or saving in fuel with a Scout, combined with the resale value that you recoup whenever you trade the boat in, the overall cost of the ownership of a Scout is a lot less than the competition. Here at Scout Boats, customer service is something that we take extremely serious. We grade all of our dealers on a different CSI index. We have several dealers every year that finish in the top 100 by boating industry. Scout Boats as a company themselves finish in the top every year with the NMA, which is the National Marine Manufacturers Association. You can also see that we're fully staffed with a team here that is standing by ready to answer any of your customer service needs, questions or concerns or whatever it may be. We're here for you.
Thank you for spending time with us today and touring our factory and allowing us to show you what makes Scout a unique product in the marketplace today. We look forward to your possible purchase in the future and to you being part of the Scout family.